Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today is Friday, December 17th, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a quick little recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about the injuries in play for tonight's slate. It is an 8-game slate overall, and there's going to be a lot of things that we're looking out for tonight, and then going over my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for tonight's slate as well. So without further ado, we'll start off with yesterday's slate and see how it turned out. First off, at the point guard position, we had Aaron Holiday, $3,500, looking for about 18 points out of me. He had 17.75, so he was a hit. Then shooting guard went with Eric Gordon, $5,600, looking for 28 points out. He got to 16.5. He was a miss. He was only 2 for 8 shooting from the field yesterday, which was kind of odd for him, especially without some of these other players on the court like Kevin Porter Jr. and Christian Wood only taking 8 shots and then only making 2 of them. Definitely hurt him overall yesterday. Then a small forward, a popular pick by many yesterday was David Duke, $4,200. Looking for 21 points on me, only got to 15. He was a miss. He played a decent amount of minutes. He was 2 for 7 shooting from the field. Just didn't do quite a lot yesterday. Then, obviously, we had Kevin Durant, $12,300, looking for 62 points on him. He got to 62.25, so he was a hit. Obviously, the highest priced player on the slate, the guy that was going to score the most points on the slate overall yesterday. And then last but not least, we had Nick Claxton at $3,900, looking for 20 points on him. He got 27, so he was a hit as well. So a little bit of a hit or miss day on the DraftKings side. Still ended up all right, but could have been just a little bit better as well. Then on the FanDuel side, we had Brad Wanamaker, $3,600, looking for 18 points on him. He got to 16.7. He was in that starting lineup. He played about 25 minutes in this game. He only shot the ball 4 times. Not a lot of production otherwise, but a guy, if you did end up playing him, probably didn't kill you overall. Then we had Bradley Beal, $8,200, looking pretty good yesterday, looking for 41 points on him. He got to 35.1. He was a miss. Played 31 minutes, but this game did end up in a blowout. So if he plays that extra 4 or 5 minutes towards the end of the game, he probably gets to where we needed him to be at yesterday. Then at small forward, we went with Karis LeVert at $6,200. Obviously, Malcolm Brogdon was ruled out in this game. Karis LeVert looked excellent after that. We were only looking for 31 points on him. He got to 49.1, so he was a hit. Then we had Kevin Durant once again, $12,000, looking for 60 points on him. He got to 58.2. He was a miss technically, but just missed at that. He was still, I believe, the top point scorer on the FanDuel side as well yesterday. So if you did play him, it's not like he was a terrible play by any means. Then on the other end for Sengun at $5,800, looking for 29 points on him. He got to 6.9. He was a miss. He was the example of a terrible play yesterday, but pretty much everybody played him, especially coming off that big night. You figure he's going to get close to 20 minutes since that's what he was getting before Christian Wood was hurt, but Daniel Theis just played very well yesterday. So Sengun ended up only playing 15 minutes and 0 for 3 shooting from the field, so not a good day for him by any means overall yesterday. So on the FanDuel side, not quite as good, but hey, it's NBA DFS. We're going to bounce back the very next day. And then with that being said, we'll get moved over to the injuries in play for tonight's slate. And as I already alluded to, there's going to be a lot of things that we're looking for tonight. And there's injuries in play. We got COVID. We got a little bit of everything, and it's an 8-game slate overall. I expect there to be a ton of value overall in this slate. So we're going to start off with the lone 7 o'clock game between the Miami Heat and the Orlando Magic. On the Heat side, Victor Oladipo, Markieff Morris, Caleb Martin, Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo are all out at this point in time. Then we have Tyler Hero and Yurt 7 both listed as questionable. Hero did miss the last time out. For the Orlando Magic, we got Jalen Suggs, Etuan Moore, Jonathan Isaac, Markelle Fultz, Michael Carter-Williams, the same 5 guys out already. Gary Harris is questionable with a hamstring injury. He did not end up starting in the lineup last time out, even though he was supposed to. They did start RJ Hampton instead. He had a hamstring injury earlier this year, so I would expect that he could potentially miss this game. Mo Bamba did end up missing last time out. We'll see if he's back today or not. He's questionable at this point in time. And then Cole Anthony got a little banged up the last time out. He is listed as a game time decision. We'll see whether or not he plays as well. So there could be a little bit of value opening up throughout the day here on that Orlando Magic team as well. Moving over to the Denver Nuggets, we got Jamal Murray, Marcus Howard, and JaMychal Green out once again. So Marcus Howard's the newest one there. He's dealing with a knee injury, expected to miss multiple games at this point in time. Wasn't a key part of that rotation either way. Then Austin Rivers has a chance to be back today. We'll see if he's back or not. I believe he's still kind of working on his condition coming back from his COVID stint. Then for the Hawks, we got DeAndre Hunter and Bogdanovich both out once again. Okongwu is questionable to play. Sounds like he has a chance to play today, but we'll just have to see it one way or another. Golden State Warriors just have Wiseman and Thompson out once again, so no changes there. For the Boston Celtics, essentially all the way healthy. Jabari Parker is out and Bruno Fernandez is questionable, but those are not 2 major rotation pieces at this point in time either way. Moving down to the Milwaukee Bucks, this is going to be a big value spot because we got Bobby Portis, Semi Ojeleye, Wesley Matthews, Brook Lopez, Dante DiVincenzo, and Giannis all out in this game already. Thanasis is also listed as doubtful in this game. So they are going to be very, very thin in that front court. We got DeMarcus Cousins and Mamu, who are both going to look like good plays tonight. Obviously, whoever ends up starting is probably going to be the more popular play overall, but both have a ton of upside tonight. Chris Middleton is probable to play after missing last time out with his knee injury. Then on the opposite side of the game, we got the Pelicans with Zion Williamson, Didi Lozada, and Drew Holmes out once again. The newest report is Zion's going to miss a couple more weeks with his foot injury that he's been dealing with, foot surgery and all that. Not looking too promising for him at all this year. So we'll have to see how that ends up playing out, but that's a story for another day. Then moving down to the Spurs, they are without Zach Collins. Once again, Lonnie Walker's questionable to play. He did miss the last time out. For the Utah Jazz, Udoka Azubuike is out, and then Jared Butler is questionable to play. Once again, those two are not really in the rotation either way. Then we move over to the Lakers, who have potentially a lot of value tonight. So we got Russell Westbrook, Kendrick Nunn, Dwight Howard, Talen Horton-Tucker, Avery Bradley, and Trevor Ariza all listed out. LeBron James and Anthony Davis are both probable to play, so no real concerns with them at this point in time. Pretty much the only other piece in that starting lineup that we know is probably going to be Wayne Ellington. You could see DeAndre Jordan slip back into that starting lineup. You could see Kent Bazemore there. They do have Rajon Rondo and Austin Reeves here, but Rondo has not been in the rotation at all. I would not be surprised if like Austin Reeves and DeAndre Jordan both end up in that starting lineup, and then LeBron just kind of takes over the ball handling duties. I would not be surprised if Kent Bazemore enters the lineup as well. So I don't think Rondo's going to start, but if he does start, he's going to look like a good play as well. Then on the Timberwolves side of the ball, they are all the way healthy at this point in time. Charlotte Hornets looking pretty healthy at this point in time. LaMelo Ball, Ish Smith are both questionable. If they're both back tonight, they're back to full strength after that big, long COVID stint for their team overall. Then for the Trailblazers, we got Cody Zeller, Tony Snell, and CJ McCollum all out. Once again, Dennis Smith Jr. is questionable to play. So not too much news there. Obviously, Dennis Smith Jr. questionable to play is kind of one of the newest ones, but not really too concerned about him overall. And then for the last game of the night, we had the Memphis Grizzlies and the Sacramento Kings. So the Grizzlies are without Zaire Williams, Ja Morant, Sam Merrill, and Brandon Clark once again. The Sacramento Kings, Lewis King, Terrence Davis, Marvin Bagley are already ruled out. We got Richaun Holmes listed as doubtful. Halliburton is listed as questionable. Metu, Len, and Fox, they all have green next to them, but they were already listed as doubtful due to COVID. So I don't expect them to play tonight. We'll have to see how that situation all shakes out. But there could be a ton of value on this Kings team as well. So this could be a good little night to do some late swapping with the Kings and the Lakers as well. But with that being said, that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries in play for tonight's slate. As always, I'll be listing all the injury updates and starting lineups throughout the day as well. So definitely be sure you're checking up on that. There's going to be a ton of news coming out throughout the day, especially if you get any more COVID news from any of these teams as well. But with that being said, we'll move over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So starting off at that point guard position, I'm assuming De'Aaron Fox does not play tonight. Halliburton questionable to play. Davion Mitchell should be in that starting lineup today. Looking for 18 points. He's averaging about 20 on the season. I got him projected for about 21, 22 points tonight. Then I got Austin Reeves, who I do expect to be in that starting lineup for the Lakers. There's a chance he's not, but he's been playing bigger minutes as of late anyways. $3,300 looking for 16, 17 points out. Got him projected for about 20 points tonight. Then a small forward, a tremendous value if he does end up playing in Chris Middleton, $6,700. Looking for 33, 34 points out of him. Got him projected for about 36, 37 points tonight. Definitely has a little bit upside for more without Giannis out there on the court. Then at power forward, we're going to go with Mamu, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce his full name, but he is obviously one of the two center options for the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. He's $3,000. I got him projected for about 21 points tonight, which is his 7 times the value. Got him projected for, about 22 to 26 minutes. Him and DeMarcus Cousins are really going to split up that center rotation overall. And I do not have a problem playing either one of them tonight. So my next pick is actually DeMarcus Cousins as well, $3,100. Got him projected for about 22 points as well. So definitely a lot of value there at that center position. Even if they split the minutes evenly 24-24, both these guys should be able to go over 20 points tonight. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players, you have $30,300 remaining, just over $10,000 per player. So you can definitely pay up for your Nikola Jokic, your LeBron James, pretty much anybody you want to pay up for on tonight's slate, you can pay up for. And heck, I even threw in a little lineup where I went Nikola Jokic, LeBron James, and Drew Holiday, and it fits perfectly. So that is an example of a lineup that you can run out there tonight, especially with all these value plays that are going to be available to us on this slate. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there. So we're going to start off at the point guard position once again with Kyle Lowry. This is a pick that could potentially change throughout the day, but $7,000. Looking for 35 points out, averaging about 32 on the season. We did see a down game from him the last time out, but I still have him projected for about 36, 37 points tonight. Then shooting guard, we're going to Drew Holiday once again. Takes a big uptick without Giannis in the lineup. Obviously, there's no Bobby Portis as well. So at $8,200, looking for 41 points out of him. Got him projected for 42 points tonight. Then small forward, going with Dylan Brooks, $6,200, looking for 31 points at him. Been shooting the ball better as of late, and this guy's not afraid to take a shot as it is anyways. Going against a poor undermanned Kings team could be a nice little night for Dylan Brooks. The only question you might have there is if there is some blowout run and he loses some minutes that way, but you're looking for about 31 points out of him. Got projected for about 31, 32 points tonight. Then with power forward, we're going to go with Mamu once again, $3,500, essentially looking for 18 points out of him. Like I mentioned on DraftKings side, I'm not afraid to play DeMarcus Cousins and him together on tonight's slate. However, if you do play Cousins or Mamu at the center position, on the FanDuel side, you are giving up Nikola Jokic as well. So that is something to consider, since he's one of the top players on the slate overall. But there's definitely other pay-up options out there as well. But Mamu, $3,500. Like I said, we're looking for 18 points out of him. Got projected for about 21, 22 points on the FanDuel side tonight. Then last but not least, I got DeMarcus Cousins at $3,700. Looking for 18, 19 points out of him. Got projected for about 22 points tonight. I do believe these guys split the minutes pretty evenly. I don't think they're ever going to be out there on the court at the same time. But even if one of them gets 22 minutes and the other gets like 26, I still think both guys are pretty good values overall on tonight's slate. But with that being said, if you go to these 5 players on the FanDuel side, you have $31,400 remaining, just over $7,800 per player. So you definitely have the ability to pay up for some other studs, whether it's LeBron James and Anthony Davis and Nikola Jokic. If you want to do that instead of DeMarcus Cousins, that's perfectly fine as well. Definitely a lot of value out there on tonight's slate, and definitely a lot of ability to pay up for stud players as well. Or you could take a little bit more balanced approach as we've seen kind of work in recent days on the FanDuel side. But the way this slate is kind of shaping up, it really looks like a stars and scrubs type of day to me overall on both sites. But with that being said, these are my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, December 17th. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's on DraftKings or FanDuel. Heck, if you want to talk a little bit of Super Draft, we can do that as well. I am going to assume that there's some pretty good values over on the Super Draft side as well, with all the injury and COVID news as well. But with that being said, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you with your fantasy football teams. This is obviously the first week of the fantasy football playoffs for most people. And then with that being said, if you are new or current subscribers yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS videos just like this, as well as 4 to 5 days of fantasy football or NFL DFS content. I know I got a little bit behind on some of the fantasy football stuff. I had a couple different things going on, but if that's something you're into as well, definitely be sure to check out those videos. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.